Hey guys, it's Gabe. Thank you so much for tuning into the Fall Camp Preview Series today. So the actual on-screen portion of the actual video just got completely corrupted, but I do have the audio file still intact, still good. So this is essentially going to be a podcast. I'll probably just throw the thumbnail up on screen or something. So I do apologize. Just made a dumb mistake, completely corrupted the actual video file. But yeah, thank you guys for being here, and please enjoy the offensive line preview. What's up guys? My name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is episode 5 of the Fall Camp Preview Series. This is the final position group for the offense that we haven't covered yet. And of course, we are talking about the Trojan offensive line. Now, this is an extremely interesting position group this year. I feel really good about the tackles, terrified of the guards, and I think we have one of the more underrated centers in the entire country. We will also be going over the depth and the fascinating position battle that is taking place at that right tackle spot. So guys, before we do get into it, if you are enjoying the videos, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you do want to help support the channel in a much bigger way, the Trojan Blade Patreon is the best way to do that. It is linked down below in the description. You sign up there, you'll see your name in every single video. And there is some bonus content coming to Patreon members during the season as well. Thank you guys for being here. Now let's get into it. All right, so first up here, we are just going to start on the offensive line, work our way from the left to right side. And obviously your starting left tackle is going to be Elijah Page once again. For me, a top 3 most important player on this entire roster this year. He has to stay healthy. It was really funny. You saw Elijah early in last year, especially in that Michigan game, struggle big time. And then when he learned that you're allowed to hold in the Big Ten, he turned into one of the best tackles in the entire country. When he committed to USC on this channel, I said he's going to be a future All-American and a first-round pick. Now, he was a freshman All-American last year, so technically that counts, but that's not what I was talking about. I think that this year is going to be the year he is that first team or second team All-American. He is so good. He's so physically talented. He's so smart. One thing you love about Elijah, he doesn't make many mental mistakes. Like with Mason Murphy last year, how many times did we see him just get completely blown by and he throws his hands up and maybe blames someone else? That doesn't happen with Elijah Page. Did he get beat a few times one-on-one? Yes, he did, as every single tackle does, by the way. But it wasn't because he didn't know what he was doing. Another year getting stronger, another year in this Lincoln Riley system is only going to do good for him. I thought the bye week last year was really the big turning point for Elijah when we came out and played against Nebraska. I thought that was his best game of the entire year, maybe of his career. He was pretty fantastic against Louisville in the Holiday Bowl. But yeah, that game against Nebraska, that game against UCLA, and the game against Notre Dame, he was absolutely fantastic. It's a shame he got hurt against Texas A&M, but yeah, he's raring to go. He is your stalwart tackle. He is the A-list prospect on this offensive line. Got to keep him healthy. Outside of Jaden Maiava and Cam Fountain, I do think that Elijah Page is the most important player on this team this year. Now, moving to left guard, this is where I start to get absolutely terrified. DJ Wingfield, the transfer from Purdue, is going to be your starting left guard. He transferred to Purdue from New Mexico last year, and when he went up against good defensive fronts, he really struggled. That game against Notre Dame was extremely rough, same against Nebraska. He was better against Oregon, but still had a lot of bad moments in that one as well. And he was just okay against Ohio State and Penn State. So this is USC, this isn't Purdue. When you have a quarterback like Jaden Maiava, who when he gets pressured, what does he do? He panics, he throws the ball up, he runs around and looks really awkward when he's doing it. My mind immediately goes to that crazy fumble against Nebraska where he just dropped the ball. And when your guards are liabilities in pass protection, which DJ was at times for Purdue last year, that internal pressure is going to get to the quarterback much faster than if they're coming outside around the tackles. So the pairing of shaky pass protection guards with a quarterback like Jaden Maiava does give me the heebie-jeebies. Definitely not comfortable with that whatsoever. Especially under Lincoln Riley, we don't have the best track record with transfer offensive linemen. There's been a few misses in there. Now, can DJ come over and finally make the jump to being a really good player? Absolutely. I trust this coaching staff with a lot of things. Absolutely he could be. Is there a world where he's the same player that he was at Purdue? Maybe even just a little bit better? Absolutely there is with that as well. We don't need him to be a little bit better. He has to be much better on a week in, week out basis. And not just against the Georgia Southerns or the Missouri States. We need big time performances against those big teams, against the Oregons, against the Michigans. So that spot definitely concerns me. But moving over to the center spot, we're talking about Syracuse transfer Big General Jean-Ray Reed. And man, Big General is a player I like a lot. One thing I loved about him immediately when I watched his tape from Syracuse when he committed back a few months ago, he is always communicating. Even when he's working a double team to get to the next level, he is always talking. Absolutely love that in a center. That's a very hard thing to teach because there's so much going on. You have to worry about your checks. Are your guards on the same page? Oh, and you have to try to block these absolute monsters that are right in front of you. So the center has a ton on his plate. But Big General is always running the show. He's always talking. I actually like Big General better at center than a guy even like Jonah Monheim. I think that this is going to be an extremely natural fit. He's been playing center for a long time. Since Lincoln Riley has been at USC, outside of Brett Nealon, this is the guy I have felt best about at center. Justin Dedich was obviously a disaster. Jonah Monheim was good, do not get me wrong. But I just feel like on a down-in, down-out basis, John Ray Reed is going to give us a much better chance on the field. Next up, moving to right guard, let's talk about Alani Noah. Now, Alani is by far the most frustrating player to watch on this offensive line. He'll have a few really solid reps. He's so big and so strong, he gets his paws on people, and then they just don't move. But man, when he has a bad play, it's a really, really bad play. Going back and looking through his PFF grades, and this definitely matches up with the eye test. He had a 50 pass blocking grade against LSU, a 39 against Utah State, that's horrifying, a 21 against Wisconsin, a 29 against Rutgers, a 40 against Nebraska, and a 22 against Notre Dame. Now, there were some good performances in there, an 86 against Minnesota, a 66 against Penn State, a 75 against UCLA. But to have that many bad performances against these lower tier teams is extremely concerning. This is a guy that I think it's 100% fair to say he is a liability in pass protection. I like him as a run blocker, I really do. But like we talked about earlier, if you're a guard and you're getting completely blown up right off the line, your quarterback is going to be under duress immediately. So I really wanted us to go out and get someone else for this right guard spot. I think Alani Noah can take a step and be a serviceable guy, but it's going to take a lot because he was so shaky at times last year. Honestly, just both of the guard spots worry me a ton. And next up, talking about the right tackle spot, this is going to be a fascinating position battle. You have two guys going up for it, Tobias Raymond and Justin Tuanu. Starting with Tobias Raymond. Now, Tobias had his struggles last year as well. Definitely not saying he did not, but he 100% should have been the starter over Mason Murphy. There was zero reason to keep running Mason Murphy out there each and every week when he had pretty much no idea what he was doing. Big mistake after big mistake. That Minnesota game comes to mind, where Miller Moss gets blamed for getting completely blindsided because Mason Murphy whiffed on his guy. Stuff like that was happening each and every week with Mason. So I thought Tobias should have been in there from the jump. Tobias finally got his big chance in that bowl game against Texas A&M. And with the caveat that, yes, a lot of Texas A&M's best defenders were out, I thought he looked really damn good. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing elite, but overall he held his own and I thought he was more than solid. But that brings us to Justin Tuanu. I'm sure I'm butchering his name, so I'm just going to call him Justin from here on out. But Justin only played 16 snaps the entire year, 10 against Utah State, 6 against Rutgers. This dude did not get off the bench at all. And then Elijah Page goes down early in that game against A&M, and Justin comes off the bench and plays left tackle in a game against a very talented front. And he came out and looked right at home. I was blown away by how fluid an athlete he is. He really looked smooth, he looked comfortable, he looked at home. Now, the tail of the tape here, Tobias Raymond is listed at 6'6", 315, and he is a redshirt sophomore. Justin is listed at 6'6", 310, and he's a redshirt freshman. So extremely close in the measurables. Now, we haven't been able to watch spring ball. We haven't been able to watch practice. There was no spring game. So this is a complete guess just off of what we saw in the bowl game, because that's all we have to go off of. But for me, if I had to pick a starter right now, I'd honestly want to roll with Justin. Coming off the bench as a true freshman at left tackle against a team like Texas A&M and playing well, to me, that says so much both about his preparation, his natural ability, his mentality, and his ability to grasp this system. Another year getting stronger. Another year knowing this system even better. Getting more familiar with the offensive linemen around him. If I was forced to pick a starter right now, that would be it for me. Now again, that is just a complete guess. But yeah, Justin would be the guy for me. Now getting into the depth here, let's talk about that right guard spot. If Alani Noah is not going to be the guy, then who is it going to be? You guys know I've been on this kid's train since he committed to USC. I am, of course, talking about Hayden Treater. It was a struggle for him last year with injuries. Wasn't able to practice a ton. But you're talking about a 6'6", 305-pound redshirt freshman, of course, from the state of Colorado. And when you watch Hayden play, he reminds me so much of Wyatt Teller of my Cleveland Browns. Hayden is an athletic, extremely violent, kind of psychopathic guy on the offensive line. Those guys you absolutely love to play with, hate to play against. He's scary out there when he gets going downfield. He's very technically good as well, very good technique. So absolutely look for that to be a guy that pushes Alani Noah for that right guard spot. Makai Sena is another guy on the offensive line that can play guard for you. He's a redshirt freshman from the state of Texas. One of the most insane high school highlight reels I've ever seen for an offensive lineman. I mean, not only was he finishing people, he was destroying the guys he was going up against. The question with him was always how far along technically can he come? Because my God, this kid is athletic as hell. Like I talked about, extremely violent, disgusting in the run game. He's absolutely in the mix for the right guard spot as well. Micah Banuelos is a redshirt sophomore from the state of Washington. This poor kid just cannot catch a break with injuries. He's only listed at 6'2", 315, but he's got some long arms. He's a mover as well. He has some really good feet. Can he be a guy that gets into the mix? All right, next up, let's talk about Killian O'Connor. So Killian's a guy that obviously has a wonderful story. Started off as a walk-on, just got a scholarship this last year. Now, he did have an injury around the middle part of spring ball that did keep him out for the rest of spring, but he is expected to be a full go for fall camp. This is going to be your backup center. And while Killian is very, very undersized for the offensive line, I love his tenacity, I love his intangibles. As far as backup centers go in 2025 in college football with the transfer portal and all this crazy stuff, this is as good as you're going to do. Phenomenal player to have on the roster. It's a very comforting feeling knowing that if God forbid anything happened to Jean-Ray Reed, that you have that guy in Killian O'Connor that has that experience playing center, that knows what he's doing, that's pretty damn good at his job. Having that backup option is a very, very good feeling. And then all we really have left to talk about are the true freshmen. You have Alex Payne, the 4-star tackle from Gainesville, Georgia. Aaron Dunn, the other tackle from the state of Utah. Elijah Vicona, a 6'8" giant from Rancho Santa Margarita. And then you have Willie Washford, the absolute dominant guard from the state of Washington. So I don't think any of them are ready to play this year. But the good news is that barring some catastrophic injury problem, they're not going to be asked to play. Long term, the guy I'm most excited about is Alex Payne, one of the smartest offensive line prospects I've seen coming out of high school. He needs to put on some weight, but technically he's already very good, advanced beyond his years truly. But yeah, like all those guys, and hopefully we will not be seeing them until next year. But guys, that is the USC offensive line. A bunch of question marks with this group. It's funny, as we've talked about the offense, there's been kind of a lot of question marks in every room outside of running back. A lot more proven talent on the defensive side of the ball, which for a USC/Lincoln Riley team is crazy to say out loud, but it's true. But yeah, guys, if you did happen to enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for being here. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.